We're in the middle of working on Pen Tool Basics project. Hopefully, you're right around here. So this is the part that's all about creating strokes and fills in your Pen Tool Basics project. I've got two shapes that I've already made. Both of these shapes have solid color fills. If you start working with Illustrator, it's very likely that you'll have mostly objects that have a white fill and a black stroke. And this can be really deceiving because the artboard is also white right now. But what we're going to look at here is the transparency grid. So the transparency grid shows me what you're actually working with. The objects that you're making in Illustrator are in front of nothing unless you create something for them to exist in front of. And I would do that by creating a new layer or something like that. But let's start to manipulate these objects to meet some of the requirements in the project. First, we have to make a closed shape with no stroke. And there are a few ways to do that. We're going to take this shape and we're going to go back to hide the transparency grid. So the way I can tell that this is a closed shape with no stroke is to have a fill, first of all. So let's turn a fill on. And one of the things that you're going to have to do to make this work right, you might have seen this in the previous video, is making sure that you're on the workspace of Essentials Classic. And that way all of the stuff is in the same place that I'm doing right now. So what we did already was change a white fill to a green fill. The problem with this is it has a stroke on it. Here's what we can do. I can go turn my stroke off by clicking on the red line that says no stroke. Click. Boop. All right, even if I look really close at this, I won't be able to see any of the black stroke on that path. The path is represented by the blue. All right, I want to represent something else that shows up on the checklist, and that one is a path that does have a stroke but doesn't have a fill. And we're going to make this an open path. Doesn't say it in the checkboxes, but we're going to do it anyway. So I'm going to go grab my pen tool and I'm just going to start making a path. This one's going to be kind of a big curve. I can tell right now that it does have a white fill because it's in front of this other shape. So what we need to do is have it selected and make sure it has no fill. It does have a stroke, and just for fun, we're going to change the stroke width a little bit. I'm going to bump it up a little bit. Hey, this one's going to have a 6-point stroke right now. Boom. Now I can see that it doesn't have a fill because there's something else behind it that shows off that it is just a stroke on a path. What else do I need here? This seems like the most basicest one. So at this point, I've already created a closed shape that has no stroke. I've demonstrated a path that does have a stroke and does not have a fill. You also have a shape with a solid color fill right there. How to change the stroke weight on any of your paths. Hopefully some of those ideas will help you as you're working on your Pen Tool Basics. Thanks for watching.